But I don't know, take that up with him. I think we all need to take a minute though and give it up for Frankie and Eric because damn they know how to throw a party. Here in the wind and the rain. Tonight is beautiful. Everything is perfect, including you guys. I truly don't think I've ever seen a more stunning bride than my sister. I'm not even saying that because everybody thinks we're twins. Seriously, I'm beyond words when I try to express how amazing these two people are and what a blessing they are in my life. I don't think that there's any way I can do them justice because to adequately describe their love for each other and their love for me, I need a mini-series, not a toast. But I'm going to try to hit all the highlights, so bear with me because my speech tonight is so long, I absolutely need an intermission, and I don't get one. So hang in there. I'll give you a drink break, how about that? Before I bring in Eric, I want to talk just a little about my favorite sister. What some of you may not know is that it was almost exactly 10 years ago to this day that Frankie inherited a wild, rebellious, and pretty scary teenager of 15, all before she could even legally drink alcohol. Legally. That's why I said legally. What nobody else here knows, other than her of course, is that 13 years ago, at the age of 17, before she was legally an adult, my mom, sister, and I were driving home from the hospital the morning after my father had passed away. And my mom asked Frankie what would happen to me if something ever happened to her before I'd grown up. And before my mom finished the sentence, Frankie said there was no question she would be the one who would take care of me. She was 17, she wasn't even out of high school, and she knew that this responsibility was something she would take on no matter what. It's a conversation I will remember every detail of for the rest of my life, and for me, it's one of the most defining moments in Frankie's life. After our daddy passed away, we didn't believe that our mom would go so soon after. And once again, our lives were spiraling out of control, and this hypothetical situation was now a reality. Nothing in the world can prepare you for that kind of agonizing pain, and the easiest thing to do is to give up. It was absolutely what I wanted to do, and I don't think that thought ever crossed Frankie's mind. She never looked at me the same way again. I was no longer her baby sister, because simply put, from that day forward, I was just her baby. She was only a sophomore at the University of San Diego, working a part-time job in accounting, and in the blink of an eye became the head of our broken household and never once underestimated that responsibility. While her friends at school worried about grades and boyfriends, she worried about paying a mortgage, making sure we had health care, worrying about my grades, and definitely worrying about any boyfriends I had. Sorry. After your world is torn to pieces by a loss of that magnitude, a smart person protects themselves and never opens up again like that to keep from ever getting hurt. But it takes an extraordinarily strong and courageous person to love again with every fiber of their being. Well, lucky for me, Frankie's the strong one, and I'm the smart one. During a time when I was consumed by numbness, your love was the only thing keeping me human, and the only thing keeping my heart beating. I admire so many things about you. But when I think about the times I had nothing left to give you, it brings me to tears, wondering how you had the strength to continue to love me. But you see, this is one of the most special things about Frankie, because if she loves you, she loves you. It is a fact of life. You have no say in it. It is everlasting. She will clutch on and never let go, or give you space, or not have major FOMO if you do anything without her. Eric, I'd brief you on this, but you already know. In fact, him and I are in the same support group for this. It's no secret that I cannot wait for the two of you to have children, and I think everyone in this room... I know you want girls, I'll take anything, please, just give me babies. I think everybody in this room can agree you're going to make amazing parents. And Eric, you get to go into this knowing that Frankie has already had some training, because I witnessed her parenting style and can attest it is both pragmatic and realistic. She taught me about fairness when in high school, I asked her to do my calculus homework. She said, well, if I do your homework, you have to do mine. And that whole semester, she literally did my calculus homework, and I wrote all of her papers for her college poetry class. Jessica back there was in that class. This is a true story. It happened. Or that time when I was a freshman in college, and I asked her for her ID so I could get into the bars. She said, no way, that's not right. I'm not giving it to you a day before you turn 20, because then the bars are going to be boring before you're even 21. Incredibly wise words. She has already figured out that loving someone like a child is one of the most selfless kinds of loves. This she taught me when she encouraged, if not forced, me to go to Berkeley instead of saying local for college, which is something she would have given anything to have me do. It was a move I know stung a lot more than she would have ever let me know, and it was the most selfless thing she could have done at that time. But luckily for her, karma was coming for her in the best way, and after I picked up and left her, it wasn't long before stories about this crazy and larger-than-life character started pouring in. Cue Eric, Jenny. All of a sudden, our lives, I don't even know how to categorize our lives any other way than BE and AE, before Eric and after Eric. Because boy, did he not just change her life, he shook up our world. If Eric knows how to do one thing, it's make an entrance, and make an entrance he did. Now, in AE, my sister, who couldn't have been any less interested in relationships or anything savvy for that matter, was suddenly changing her tune. And soon she was pining over this guy who she couldn't explain in any other way than magnetic. His passion, his laugh, his presence, everything about him drew her in deeper and craving more. He won her attention with his charm, kept her coming back by spoiling her, but he earned her love and respect through his unequivocal support of every single thing she held dear to her life. There's this value in having somebody you trust tell you it's going to be okay. It is such a shallow and overused phrase, but her and I have come to many points in our life where that is all the hope there is. It's a lifeline when you have nothing left to hold on to, and it's something Frankie has made certain I have felt and heard in very desperate times. My whole life I felt guilty because it never has had the same comforting effect on her when I say it. And Eric came into her life and epitomized everything that sentiment represents. Not only does he make sure she hears it, but he's built a life where she knows in her heart that in the darkest hour she will be okay, and Eric would fight till death to make sure of it. Eric, my parents are looking down on you guys today with beaming smiles and hearts that couldn't be any fuller, knowing you were picking up where they left off. I truly believe they sent you into our lives, and after you proposed, the dark cloud we felt following us around for so long finally started to part, Today marks a new chapter where the highs will finally outnumber the lows. And that is a day we never thought we'd see. You've been such an integral part in my life, Eric, and you are seriously a best friend and a brother to me. You truly complete our duo, and honestly, most times I like you better than Frankie. You're one of the hardest working people I know, and your ambition is matched by your kindness and compassion for others. You've been such a pillar of strength in our lives, and I'm so grateful that in these last 5 years, you never once underestimated my importance in your life. But seriously, I am so excited for our little family to expand, and I can't picture any other person completing this tripod as perfectly as you do. There was a time when I dreaded the day that Frankie got married and left me alone. Even though I know she's not leaving me alone after today, life still is going to get a little lonelier being the only Hajj left in the family. Because now when I get strip searched at the airport, Frankie's going to be with you on the other side of security instead of standing next to me getting patted down like she should be. She's not a Jenny, she's a Hajj. Those random searches are not so random. I was trying to find a way to describe the dynamic of this trio, but every time I read over my notes, I couldn't help but think two things. One, it seriously sounded like an episode of Sister Wives. Claire just got really excited. And two, our relationship is not normal, and I couldn't imagine it any other way. When we go on vacation together, we book one room with one king bed, and we all sleep in it. After they got engaged, the first question Frankie asked Eric was, well, did he have a ring for me? Because he proposed to the both of us. We have this saying, which Frankie already talked about, uno para dos. We prefer to say it in Spanish. I don't know why, it sounds better. But basically, Eric's getting one for the price of two. He has his own personal peanut gallery, as he likes to call me. Because whenever Frankie yells at him, I'm right behind her saying, yeah, and repeating everything she says. Peanut gal. Yeah. It takes not only an open-minded person, but an incredibly tough man to survive the two of us. So, Eric, you have more than earned your space in our family. Well, there's this saying that girls marry their father. In this case, Frankie's marrying her sister. Because for those of you who haven't yet connected the dots, Eric and I share some very similar traits. I mean, traits that are very impossible to ignore or overlook. For instance, talking. Eric and I both have a tendency to talk a lot nonstop all the time, cue minute 10 of my speech. For all my family out there, listen up, you guys are going to appreciate this. Growing up, I was constantly yelled at, and mom and dad were always saying to Hajiyadawish, which in Arabic literally translates to shut up. Frankie, from this point forward, you'll never get another word in, but you already knew that. Eric and I also have this small tendency to exaggerate things, a lot of things, stories especially, much to Frankie's dismay, great annoyance. We have a shared love for the dramatics, although, Eric, you more than take the cake on that one. I've never seen anything light up brighter than Eric in front of an audience or a camera. And lastly, we both love to make others laugh, but I'm going to give you that one as well, because you're going to have everybody cracking up for the rest of our lives at your bear dances, gorilla impersonations, and most recently, your reporting live segments on Snapchat. For those of you who don't follow Eric on Snapchat, he has decided over the past few months he's going to start chronicling his life by video recording himself no matter where he's at, and he starts it with reporting live from my walk to work, reporting live from my couch and Frankie's yelling at me to go to the gym, or reporting live from Tori's wedding. That one was epic. I need to send that to you. So, Eric, I can't imagine a better way to end my speech than to give you another opportunity in the spotlight. I'm inviting you up here, and I am also requesting every single person take out your phone, point it up here at the groom, and we are going to all witness a live recording of a reporting live session from his own wedding to the hype man himself. Get up here and hype up your wedding. It's all yours.
Wow, that was incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, I am reporting live from my very own wedding. Eric and Frankie, Jenny. Yeah! Hey! Pound sign getting Jenny with it. Pound sign Jenny AF reporting live. Out! Yeah! God, I love this. I didn't think I was going to get number 2, but maybe I do. All right, no, I'm really not. Hey, cheers, you guys. Raise your glasses in the air. I am still reporting live, technically, from my own wedding at Scripps Seaside 4 with all you beautiful faces. Throw your glasses in the air. Let's go, baby. Cheers. Let's go. Come on. All right. Taylor? Olivia? Who? Nino? It's back to you.